The wisdom of the ages exhorts us to live lives of honesty, integrity, and goodness. 3,000 years ago, the Israelite king and sage Solomon wrote, "Better is a poor person who walks in his integrity than a rich person who is crooked in his ways." 600 years later, the Greek philosopher Plato asserted that there is nothing so delightful as the hearing or the speaking of truth. For this reason, there is no conversation so agreeable as that of the man of integrity, who hears without any intention to betray and speaks without any intention to deceive. 4 centuries after Plato, the great Jewish teacher, Jesus of Nazareth, summed up the commandments to not lie, to not steal, and others with the elegantly simple phrase, "Do to others what you would have them do to you." 200 years ago, the German idealist philosopher Immanuel Kant wrote that honesty is better than all policy. And 50 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., in his final speech, exhorted us to do good to others to help those in need. He commented on Jesus' parable of the Good Samaritan and spoke of the 3 people who encountered the man who'd been beaten by robbers. Speaking of the first 2 who passed by the injured man, Dr. King said, the first question the priest asked, the first question the Levite asked was, "If I stop to help this man, what will happen to me?" But then the Good Samaritan came by and he reversed the question. "If I do not stop to help this man, what will happen to him?" Today, as we gather to invite you, our newest captains, to join our community of honor, let each of us commit to live as women and men with an expansive view of honesty, integrity, and goodness. Let us speak honestly, telling the truth, even when it is difficult. Let us live with integrity, following the path of truth in all situations. And let us project goodness, doing good to others at all times and in all places.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well done, sir.
Please be seated. Good evening, and welcome to this honor convocation. My special thanks to our Provost, Dr. David Dowdy, for offering the invocation, and to John McGuire, Dr. John McGuire, for a stirring rendition of a national anthem. We begin by honoring God and country, but we gather tonight for a very special purpose. We meet this night because we want to recapture some of the traditions, some of the special moments lost to this class over the last year. and traditions and moments important to the creation of the community, the culture of Christopher Newport that ties us all together and ties you to classes that have gone on long before you matriculated at CNU, and classes that will follow you for generations to come. Joined by members of Christopher Newport's gifted faculty, I share this platform with our distinguished deans, Doctors Nicole Guajardo, Quentin Kidd, Laurie Underwood, and Alan Witt, and with Dr. Kip Reddick, the chair of the Department of Philosophy and Religion, and our most recent recipient of the Alumni Faculty Award, as well as Dr. J. Paul. J. Paul is the most senior member of our faculty, and in that role, he leads our academic processions. Our purpose this evening is to underscore once again the seriousness of our shared academic purpose and the importance that we all place on living in a community of honor. In the memorable words of a former provost, Dr. Richard Somerville, and I quote, "Truth is the faith of academic life. Honor is the ethical compass which guides all of us in the practice of that faith. Together, they make learning valuable, teaching credible, and wisdom possible. These are precious gifts, and it's because they're so precious that we gather here tonight. The classes that you've taken and the classes that you will take will in large measure shape your academic life. Books to read, papers to write, examinations to take. Experiments to be conducted in laboratories, drawing and painting in studios, performing in concert halls and theaters. This faculty will engage you in the discovery of new and exciting knowledge, while challenging each of you to think critically, analyze carefully, and use your learning for the betterment of this world. Now, the successful journey here and in life requires many things: great dreams, hard work, and determination. And always it helps to have a bit of good luck. So on commencement day, as you know, seniors toss a penny into Saunders Fountain for good luck in their life after graduation, a wonderful Christopher Newport tradition. Now, traditionally, when freshmen sign the honor code, they receive a lucky penny. But your first year has passed and you've received that penny. I hope that you can find it. I hope that you'll hold on to it. I hope you'll keep that penny and toss it into the fountain on graduation day. Allow me to read once again, as I did last year, the beautiful words that accompany each penny, written by a beloved Christopher Newport professor, Dr. Tracy Swartz. Listen to these beautiful words. This penny is but a small tribute to the spirit of honor of all those who learn and lead here. To give your word and keep it as a person of integrity. To treasure the life of the mind and the spirit of intellectual inquiry. To value richness of character over richness of purse. To give, because to you much has been given. To seek important work, and to do it with your whole heart. Keep this faith as you become a citizen of Christopher Newport, of the nation and the world. And one day, as you remember the grandeur of the Ferguson Center, the beauty of the Great Lawn, the tranquility of the James, and the friends and mentors of your youth, you will know that you have lived a life of honor and significance. End of quote. Several years ago, we lost Tracy after a courageous battle with cancer. Although she's no longer with us, her memory will always be cherished on this campus and her presence felt. Her mother, N.C. Teets, is with us tonight, standing in Tracy's shoes, just as we do. We're honored by her presence. And N.C., I would like you to stand. Would you stand so we can recognize and say thank you to you and to Tracy? Your academic journey will be successful and enriching only if you understand the principles that are the foundation of this academic community. We're different than many other schools because we care about minds, yes, but also hearts. Our job is to enrich your minds and to stir your hearts. At Christopher Newport, our purpose is to form good citizens and leaders. We want you to pursue excellence in all things, possess a passion for engagement, a moral compass to direct and define your lives, and a powerful sense of responsibility. Your responsibility, our responsibility for making the world a better place. You see, these things are not spontaneously apprehended. They have to consciously be passed on from one generation to another. They must be taught. We believe that real success is a life well lived. We want you to choose to live lives of meaning and consequence and purpose. And of course, as you know, we have a name for that here, the life of significance. Because we care about minds and hearts and lives of significance, our curriculum rests on the liberal arts and sciences. We emphasize the study of leadership. Our core curriculum is rigorous and required of all of our students. It's because we care about hearts and minds and creating good citizens and leaders that our students perform thousands of hours of community service. We have a speaking tradition, an honor code. We built a chapel. We want our students to lead and serve and love and engage. And in the words of Catherine Sienna, set the world on fire. That's what makes Christopher Newport so special and distinctive. That's what makes Christopher Newport and our students an irresistible force. Above all else, the key to significance is how we choose to live our lives, the choices we make each and every day, our character. Moral clarity is all important. Evil is always confusing. There is right and there is wrong, and it's our job to know the difference. At Christopher Newport, honesty is not a choice, it's a requirement. We expect you to tell the truth. We expect you to honor and respect other people and other people's possessions. And your academic work must always be your own. A second value that Christopher Newport cherishes is that other people truly matter. We must believe that everyone who crosses our path has something important to impart. If we're willing to listen, really listen, we can learn from others, and then great things are possible. The genius of America is that we're a rich mosaic of different colors and hues, different religions and philosophies and politics. We must learn to engage each other, learn from each other, and work with each other. Our speaking tradition makes that point in a very simple and yet very powerful way. When you walk past another person on this campus, we ask you to look them in the eye and speak and smile and not pretend that they don't exist. When we pass people by and we ignore them, what we're saying is, you don't matter. I don't care about you. Everyone matters. We must care about everyone. So as we pass by, We're honoring them. We're honoring their humanity. We're recognizing the opportunities that together, there's so much that we can accomplish. We're a community that knows and cares about each other. We're a rich community, an increasingly diverse community with a culture of respect, civility, and inclusion. We care and honor every person. We want everyone to feel welcomed and fully engaged on this campus. We stand together and support and encourage each other. We are a light in an increasingly dark world, and that's what makes this place so special. Some of you have heard me share a story about walking on a campus of a great and historic Virginia university many years ago. For 20 minutes or so, I walked across this campus to experience the history and the architecture of that place. And I was struck by the fact that nobody, I mean no one, spoke to anyone, smiled at anyone, acknowledged anyone. I finally grabbed a young man and made him speak. What's your name? Where are you from? Northern Virginia. Why is it at this great university that no one speaks or smiles or in any way engages with other people? This is what this third yearman told me. He said, you know, the university is a microcosm of the world. He said, if you were walking down the streets of New York, no one would speak. That's just the way the world is. I walked away and I thought, how sad is that? You see, at Christopher Newport, we're not interested in the way the world is. We're interested in the way the world ought to be. We're not interested in conforming to the world. We're interested in transforming the world. And finally, a third value that Christopher Newport teaches is the importance of your leadership. Through the classes that we teach, the lives that we lead, the activities that we share, we hope you'll be inspired to become good citizens and leaders. Young women and men who will choose to reach out and engage. Remember, we change the world one person at a time. It must start with us, here and now. This past week, our entire freshman class, for the first time in our history, over 1,000 strong, and 100 of my colleagues from across the faculty and staff worked at 71 schools and nonprofit organizations. I'm grateful for their efforts on day one of service. In truth, we don't have to go far to make a difference. All we have to do is roll up our sleeves and respond to what's right before our eyes. And we must, because a free society is a moral achievement. Hear the words of Jonathan Sacks in a marvelous book, Morality, Restoring the Common Good. He is the chief rabbi in the United Kingdom and a man of towering intellect. Rabbi Sacks writes, freedom cannot be sustained by market economics and by liberal democratic politics alone. It needs a third element, morality, a concern for the welfare of others, an active commitment to justice and compassion, a willingness to ask not just what is good for me, but what is good for all of us together. It is about us and not me. It is about we and not I. End of quote. Leadership, honor, service. These are the values that define and distinguish Christopher Newport. Live these values, and you and the world will be better for it, and your life will become a great adventure. In conclusion, I want to share with you a video where our students talk about vision, and values and what it means to live a life of significance. I want you to see their faces. I want you to hear their voices.
At Christopher Newport University, we embrace success.
But we value far more, a life that is focused on something greater.
Leading a life of significance means making a positive difference in the lives of others.
It means striving for excellence and honor.
And respecting and valuing one another.
A life of significance is about leadership and good citizenship.
And devotion to beliefs and causes larger than ourselves.
At Christopher Newport, I'm learning to lead such a life.
I am empowered by the realization that not only can I change the world,
But I'm obligated to do so.
I've learned that opportunity is a result of hard work.
And with success comes great responsibility.
The decisions I make
and the actions I take
affect the people,
Community,
and world around me,
regardless of where we come from.
or what we study,
We apply all we learn in the classroom.
to make the world a better place.
We learn to lead.
we learn to serve.
We learn the importance of character.
and personal responsibility.
A life of significance is a life of honor.
And compassion.
We care about each other.
We engage and reach out to help,
Rather than turn and walk away.
It's not easy to live this way.
but it is the right way to live. With these values, I will be a leader, an engaged citizen.
And lead a purposeful life.
at moments of consequence
I will be prepared to do the work that shapes
Defines.
and enriches the world.
This is what we value at CNU.
This is what it means to be a captain.
This is what it means to be a captain.
This is what it means to be a captain.
This is how we define significance.
Thank you, President Tribble, for those inspiring words. My name is Dr. David Doughty, and I'm the Provost, or Chief Academic Officer, here at Christopher Newport University. It's my privilege today to invite you to join our community of honor. As you complete your academic journey over the next 3 years, I encourage you to treat it as an adventure, for that is exactly what it is, an adventure of learning and discovery. Learning the known, discovering the unknown, learning one's strengths, and discovering one's passions. These are the fundamentals of the college experience. But like most adventures and most worthwhile things in life, this will not come easily. When we think of the great adventurers of the past, Columbus, Lewis, Earhart, and Armstrong, we note that every one involved preparation and hard work. And so it will be with you over these next 3 years, engaging in this adventure, learning things about the world and about yourself will require time, preparation, and hard work. But learning and discovery, the mere acquisition of knowledge, is not enough. Mahatma Gandhi called knowledge without character a deadly sin. And Martin Luther King Jr., as a student at Morehouse College, wrote that intelligence plus character, that is the goal of a true education. You see, people will judge you by what you know, but they will also, to quote Dr. King again, judge you by the content of your character, by who you are. And those character traits that President Tribble just spoke about, honor, honesty, integrity, dedication, generosity, and compassion, these are things that can be developed. And here at Christopher Newport, we will offer you that opportunity in addition to the acquisition of knowledge. You see, if you become that person of great character, a woman of honor, honesty, and integrity, a man of dedication, generosity, and compassion, the world will come to you seeking answers and looking for leadership. And today we take the first step by inviting you to join not just our community of scholars, but our community of honor in this honor code induction ceremony. There are 4 significant parts to this ceremony. First, we will light the candle of truth and knowledge that stands next to the podium. Each year, we ask a student body leader to perform the ceremonial lighting. This year's student leader is Brooke Nixon from Maryland. Brooke is our Student Honor Council president and is a senior, double majoring in information science and psychology with a minor in leadership. Brooke's lighting of the candle of truth and knowledge symbolizes the start of the remainder of your academic journey here at Christopher Newport. Second, you will stand and repeat the honor code. This recitation marks your commitment to our community of honor, one of honesty, integrity, and personal responsibility. For the third part of the ceremony, you will come forward and sign the honor code registry. Signing of the registry seals your commitment to the honor code and symbolizes your formal membership into CNU's academic community. In the fourth part of this ceremony, normally each student receives that lucky penny. But for your class, this occurred last year. As President Tribble mentioned, this fourth part of the ceremony represents one of our most cherished traditions. On graduation day, each senior tosses this penny into the fountain for good luck. And I hope that each of you will continue to safeguard that penny as a constant reminder of your ultimate goal, a degree from Christopher Newport University, and that you will toss this penny into the fountain on your graduation day. University witnesses, please take your places at the signing tables. Brooke will now light the candle of truth and knowledge. The lighting of this candle symbolizes your pursuit of truth and knowledge at Christopher Newport University. May truth and knowledge always illuminate your academic journey and your life. Dr. Kip Reddick, chair of the Department of Philosophy and Religion, and last year's winner of the Alumni Society Award for teaching and mentoring, and a CNU alumnus, will now lead us in the recitation of the honor code.
This is an important tradition at CNU. We ask that you take this time to reflect on your future in our community. Keep your voices to a whisper and refrain from using your cellular devices during the entire signing of the honor code. We now invite all members of the university community to please stand and recite the honor code with the newest members of the CNU faculty. The honor code is printed on the back of the program, so open up that program. All right, so please recite with me. On my honor, I will maintain the highest standards of honesty, integrity, and personal responsibility. This means I will not lie, cheat, or steal. And as a member of this academic community, I am committed to creating an environment of respect and mutual trust. You may now be seated until your row is called. Will the marshals please direct students forward for the signing of the honor code?
Well, thank you. And well done all. In closing, let me share with you a brief story. In my son Paul's senior year of college, one of his very best friends and classmates tragically lost his life. At the memorial service for Colum Owens of Atlanta, Georgia, a passage was read from his diary in which he described how he wanted his life to unfold. He wrote these words as a freshman, and then 4 years later, they were read at his funeral. And I quote, "I truly realize now what is important for the rest of my life. I want to be well educated. I want a group of friends whom I enjoy spending time with and who will love me. I want to marry a woman I know I'm in love with. I want to make a decent living, but live below my means. I want to find God and spend lots of time contemplating him and conversing with him. I want to grow old with a woman I love, spend time with grandchildren, cry at funerals and weddings, and die a happy, successful, respected, loved, and content man." End of quote. And then Colum wrote this: "Look at this every year. Become this man. Lead this life." I share this story because it's during your 4 years in college that each of you will choose what kind of man and woman you'll become, what kind of life you will lead. Choose wisely. Live a life that matters. Choose to live a life of significance and set the world on fire. So tonight, in spite of rain, wind, lightning, and thunder, you have assembled as a class for the first time ever. And with your recitation of the Honor Code oath and the signing of the Honor Code registry, you are now formally, more formally, full members of the Christopher Newport learning community, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Congratulations and best wishes. My thanks to our Honor Council President, Brooke Nixon, to all the members of the Christopher Newport community who participated in this special evening. I hope that you will join us at Jennings Stadium to light the night, but not tonight at 8 p.m. Next Sunday at 8 p.m. Again, it's a time when students across this campus, drawn from all of our classes, gather to celebrate the beginning of a new academic year. And then later on, I hope that each of you will join Rosemary and me at the President's house for your delayed freshman desserts. We will do that in the spring. On the banks of the James, overlooking where Christopher Newport passed several hundred years ago, we gather as a community. Over 4 nights, members of your class will be invited, and there'll be 30 or 40 or 50 faculty and senior administrators drawn from throughout this campus. It's a marvelous chance to get better acquainted, to make new friends, to network, and to build the community that makes Christopher Newport special. Also, we offer an incredible array of gourmet desserts, and you will miss out if you don't enjoy that special Christopher Newport tradition, the peanut butter pie, which year in and year out wins the award. In closing, we will sing our alma mater. The words are printed on the back of your program. Dr. Paul will then divest the mace and lead the stage party and the faculty in academic recession. We would ask our students and our guests to please stay seated until the faculty has departed. So, will you please stand and join us in singing our alma mater led by the Newport Pearls.
Knowledge, truth, eternal wisdom, Alma Mater we adore. Your sons and daughters walk the pathway trod by those who came before. With